the no contest plea petition to case number 16 CR 18461, as well as the plea contract with the state, which we have tendered. I think there's 2 copies up with the court, but the last one has some very minor revisions. And these are both the product of some fairly extensive negotiations that the court has assisted with over the period of months, and we are now at a point where we've reached a resolution to really every case pending with Mr. West in the system, which is good news. And the vast majority are being dismissed. Mr. West has been doing well as of late and looks forward to continuing that under probation to the court.
Well, you're welcome to have a seat. Mr. West, it's nice to see you again.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I was kind of wondering if you guys had forgotten about me. I hadn't heard of you for in a while. So I'm glad to see that you've been able to come to a resolution, and I think it will be good for everyone going forward. So I'm very glad that this was able to be resolved. So we need to kind of go through the formalities of this plea process at this point, Mr. West. So I have your petition to enter a no.
He was wondering if he could ask you a question real quick before you did that.
Okay. My understanding I was supposed to be arraigned and then the charges were dismissed.
One of these cases that's being dismissed, normally we would just not issue it as opposed to have the court arraign Mr. West, but there were just so many case numbers and so much of the conduct bled over. I didn't want there to be a time in the future where someone reissued this conduct.
Okay.
That's why I thought it was best, just because there's so many reports out there at this point, for the court to arraign Mr. West and then dismiss it. So there's absolutely no chance this would ever rear its head again.
That seems prudent. So,
Here's a copy of the charging instrument.
thank you. All right, Mr. Fisher.
Your Honor, this is I don't have a hard copy in hand, but I have reviewed an emailed copy. I do have a hard copy in hand of the information. Mr. West is truly named, correct date of birth. He waives further reading and formal advice of rights, and enters a plea of not guilty, and pursuant to plea negotiations, this case will be dismissed with the others, with the plea that we're tendering.
Very well. Thank you so much. Good catch. Okay. So, Mr. West, I have a no contest plea to enter a no contest here in front of you. I'm going to have certain questions for you about the document. My first question is, did you read through the document with Mr. Fisher prior to signing it?
Yes.
Okay. And on page 2 there, is that your signature?
Yes.
Great. The decision to enter a plea is a very important one. It should only be undertaken by somebody who's in a clear frame of mind. Is there anything going on with you today that would make this not a good time for you to be making important decisions?
Well, it's never a good time to get put on probation.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But you're thinking clear-headed today?
Yeah.
Great. I'm fully aware that you know these rights, but I want to remind you that when a person is charged with a crime, they have several rights. Probably the most important is the right to a trial by jury.
Right.
And at that trial, you have the assistance of a lawyer. You can bring in witnesses or documents, cross-examine the state's witnesses. You can testify. You have the right not to testify. And the decision to enter a no contest plea is telling me that you've considered that, but you've made the voluntary choice to give up your jury trial right in exchange for this negotiated settlement. Is that what you wish to do?
Yes.
Okay. And the plea here contemplates a no contest plea to count 2, which is interfering with a peace officer. It's a misdemeanor, carries a maximum sentence of a year in jail, $6,250 fine. Now, there is a sentence recommendation here. I've been the product of helping you resolve this. I assure you I'm going to honor that sentence recommendation, although technically, under the law, I wouldn't have to, right?
Yeah.
You're not on probation or parole, I don't believe currently, are you?
No.
Okay. I asked that question just to make sure we know all of our collateral consequences, right? This can have consequences to probation, which is why I asked that. It can have immigration consequences, so if you weren't a United States citizen, this could impact your ability to remain in the country. So having gone through all of that now, on count 2, interfering with a peace officer, how do you wish to plead?
No contest.
Okay. Mr. Fisher, will you stipulate that there's a factual basis sufficient to support the no contest plea?
Yes.
Is the state happy with that stipulation?
We are, Your Honor.
Mr. West, I will find that your decision to enter a plea today was knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily made. That there is a factual basis, and I will accept it. And therefore, on count 2, I will find you guilty. I will, of course, be honoring the agreement that everybody has worked out with respect to these cases, which includes dismissal of counts 1 and 3 in this case. Case 15CR, there's not enough numbers on this.
There may not be.
Typos on myself.
It's 46016, Your Honor.
15CR 46016.
Yeah.
16CR 11104. 17CR 15109. 17VI, is that 12198?
That's
And
correct.
17VI 20392.
I did.
Am I
And
supposed to have 2 plea petitions up here?
no, because he
He was found guilty.
was found guilty.
At
That's right.
trial.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Right.
Yes.
So we're sentencing on that case as well. And this is spelled out more legibly in this plea contract, which we
I
also have a copy
electronically.
of. Right. So the negotiated resolution contemplates the sentence on the case where he has been found guilty but not yet sentenced, 15 CR 25032, as laid out in the plea contract.
Okay. So what that sentence is going to be on 15 CR 25032, 18 months bench probation to meet, all standard conditions, possess no weapons, obey all laws. This contemplates a 3-page letter to the court regarding journalistic ethics. I think what I'd rather do than that, Mr. West, why don't you just drop by my chambers a couple of times the next year and you and I'll just go have coffee. We can
That's
talk
not-
about journalistic ethics.
That sounds good.
Sound good?
Yeah.
40 hours of community service. Stay at least 10 feet away from all vehicular entry and exit ways at the Portland Police Bureau facility. Stay at least 10 feet away from officers while they're carrying out their duties with respect to other persons and property. Immediately vacate City Hall or any other government building when necessary to do so by a person in charge. No contact with Catherine Maxey. No entry into 1201 Northeast Lloyd Boulevard. What is that?
It's the Lloyd Building. It was the site of a pipeline protest where,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll have a status check in 60 days, see how things are going. And then fines and fees are per the court.
I'm on SSI.
What I'm not going to impose. And then the 16 case will be 18 months bench probation, all concurrent conditions. So it just all
All right.
kind of runs together. All right?
Your Honor, if I may ask,
You may.
On the no weapons, I've received death threats.
Okay.
And so I don't carry a knife or a gun or anything like that, but I do carry bear mace. Would the court allow me to possess the bear mace?
I'll leave that to the court. I don't.
It's legal. It's legal for felons to have one of the few weapons a
Yeah,
felon
I
can have.
You know what, I think personal defense maces can be okay. I'm gonna allow you to have that.
Okay, thank you. And the other question I have is on search on, but Graham said it basically, was search and seizures. Officers will not have the right to just go through my car or where I live, right?
So you're on bench probation, you're not on formal probation.
Mm-hmm.
On formal probation, there's a little bit of a reduced expectation of Fourth Amendment privacy with respect to the probation officer.
Mm-hmm.
I am not aware of any case law saying that that carries through to bench probation unless somebody knows otherwise. So, Mr. West, the answer is no. I do not believe you have any lessened Fourth Amendment protections.
Okay, thank you.
Okay? Anything further?
There is one other piece, the very last point. Mr. West's SD memory card was seized pursuant to a search warrant, 16 CR 18461. I do have an order for return of it. The proviso being, though, that there's an agreement by Mr. West that he doesn't publish or disseminate any of the images or recordings of the cert action for public safety purposes. The rest of whatever's on there,
And you're in agreement.
no matter.
Well, it's not a thing of I'm in agreement. It's, I think it's, is that a condition of probation or is that just a part of the order?
It's part of the agreement in order to obtain the return of the SD card.
It's not a part of condition. It's not a part of condition of. I'll agree to. I won't have any objection at this point. I mean, the case is over. I should get my stuff back.
Here's the issue. I'm in agreement, Your Honor, about that. And I actually told Mr. Graham as much. The issue being there are some public safety concerns over some of the negotiation techniques that CERT has had on there. Like I said, the rest of whatever else is on the integrity of this SD card, I don't know. I don't care. That is the only piece that the city has any public safety, ongoing public safety interest in.
You have you can find that stuff on the internet all the time.
So,
I mean, if it was a gun or something, I could understand not giving it back. An SD card.
well, so what Plank is saying is the card's going to be given back, but she's just asking for you to agree to not disseminate certain components, certain images that are on that card.
Right.
Is that one
That's
for
it.
you?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And have that for your honor signature as well.
Do you want to get us on the record before I
No, I think we're good.
continue on?
Can I get a copy too of that? We'll put it in the file. So that jaywalking ticket's out there, but that should clear the decks on everything that I could find in OECI, except for that jaywalking. So
Everything in Multnomah County.
that's true.
I still got an issue with Clackamas.
Well, I don't have any authority out there.
I know.
Already dismissals.
Here's a
look this over just to make sure I got everything?
Sure, thank you.
And what exactly should I put about getting coffee with you?
Mr. Weston, I'll take
A
care of that.
signed copy.
Have gone to.
I'm confident
If you
that will
if you
occur.
attach that to the judgment.
Yes,
Do you
that
wanna
would
just interlineate to that, 3-page letter and put in lieu, judge would like Mr. West to meet with them, since that's
That's
obviously been amended. Since this will go back and just be part of the court file. So, it was count 2, correct? Or was-
It's kind of, yeah.
Do you mind if I
Oh.
change that to a 2?
Yeah. Does that mean I missed one? Where's this?
Oh, this is the older one. I just messed it up.
I don't know, this is a plea.
Yes, it's just a sensitive, you're right, no, I messed it up. No, you were right, I'm wrong. I should have operated from that assumption from the get-go.
It's this is the other part. Oh, no, it's like the same.
Yeah, this is the first one.
Right, I know, that's
All-
hence
all
why
three
I
counts, right,
screwed
right.
that up, yeah.
Someone just wanted to sit.
That was worse than just letting it rain.
Elizabeth, you have the nicest handwriting I've ever
I
seen.
know, the only blemish on there is what I created.
Mhm.
So there were 3 counts on this, right? On this.
Yeah.
Does it state where the other counts are at? So they should just be run concurrent with that.
Do you have a question? Or do
Well,
you-
there were 3 counts on that 15 CR 25032,
Yeah.
3 counts of
This is
conviction.
the third one.
Perfect, and they just all run concurrent with this, I'm assuming.
Yes,
Perfect, there's, got it.
do you want me to put on this one also as concurrent to that one, or is this being concurrent to that one?
This is concurrent to this, and this is concurrent to this, so they're fine.
Okay.
You got it right. That's right.
Maybe the most paperwork I've ever had in one case.
And Your Honor, sorry it took so long to do that. It took a while to clear out that. I wanted to make sure all the cases got resolved. That took a while.
I appreciate all the work everyone put into it.
Thank you.
So these I gave back right now are all just the dismiss, or
That, yes, thank you.
oh, and the plea. That.
Do you have the signed second page for me of this?
Not, I mean, I turned both of them into the court, but
I did.
oh,
Here's another.
oh, this one, I was given,
Perfect, thank you.
you got it?
Perfect, thank you. This looks easier than that. Nice.
And what about the violations?
Well, let's take it, so the 2 violations that were for the failure to obey an officer, those have been dismissed. That jaywalking ticket out of Gresham, that's still open. I'll take a look.
Alright.
When is your trial date on that?
I have no idea. They just, I went downstairs and complained that I never got a letter or phone call, and they checked the computer and found that they didn't send a letter, that me nor the officer got a letter. nor did we get a phone call, so they, rescheduled the trial.
Okay.
So I'd probably get a trial date in a week.
How old is that? Oh, September 2016. Pretty old.
Yeah, DeLong needed a, continuance, and then I needed a continuance, and then they never sent me the information. Then it went in as a failure to appear, and then I found out, then I went downstairs and asked about it. They go, well, you got a failure to appear on that. I go, what do you mean? And so they looked at it, they go, they made a mistake, so they're redoing that.
Thank you all.
All right, thank you, Judge.
Talk to you soon, Mr. Ross.
All right.